Hey there, happy day. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Pajama Grandma. Getting so excited about the live challenge workshop starting on Monday. Woohoo! So actually working on some things online yesterday that probably should have done a month ago, but I haven't, and I'm not going to make any excuses. I just haven't done it yet. So I'm working on those. I'm working on some what's called email sequences and things to take these 20 lessons and put them in a sequence so that I can share them more readily and people can find them more easily. It's all about finding ways to make my customers' experience better. But that's not what today is about. Today is day 4. 4 more days to the live challenge workshop, and I am going through the 20 top business lessons, that just brainstormed list of the 20 biggest lessons that I've learned in business and pretty much in life, because our businesses that we create, our jobs, our careers we have, they definitely parallel our lives. So today, and again, they're not in any order because I just brainstormed the list, and I would have to have thought much longer and harder about each thing, and then I probably would have had 1,000 things on the list as I was thinking about them more clearly to try to prioritize them. So to me, it just made more sense to, hey, what's the top 20 things I've learned? And this is my list, and it's based on my 47 years of experience. Your experiences might be very different. Today, for example, my 4th biggest lesson is about root cause, finding the root cause of a problem before I focus on solutions, right? So often in my past, I focused on the symptoms of the problem, and I was looking for solutions to each of those symptoms. I'll use an example of a physical illness. I could use a business example next if that helps, but for right now, I was really, really sick in my 20s, and sick to the point of being bedridden. And during that situation, for a long time, way longer than I like to admit, like 3 years, I was focused on the symptoms and what was wrong, because I was going through the traditional medical system. And of course, our medical system currently is focused on symptom control. And so back then, this was, in my 20s, 30, almost 40 years ago. That's really scary to admit, right? 30 years ago, 40 years ago, I was in my 20s. I was 20, 40 years ago exactly. So I was focusing on and thinking about and treating, and the doctors that I was going to, the different specialists, were treating the symptoms that I had. I had inflammation, I had kidney issues, I had vision issues, I had all kinds of systemic immune system challenges, and so they were treating the symptoms with different medications, but nobody could figure out what was really wrong with me. They couldn't figure out, and I didn't know the root cause. I didn't know what had triggered all of this in me and gotten it to be so bad that I couldn't function. And it wasn't until I started to look at and figure out what was the root cause of the problem, what was really the underlying thing, and we started to treat and fix that I got better, and I got out of bed and I could actually get back on with my life. And it's back then that I started to learn and really get interested in quality. And I was drawn to quality and engineering because it's scientific and engineering and fact-based, and it allowed me to really dig down to find out what is the base problem here. What is the real problem? The real problem is seldom, if ever, what we see and what we're feeling and experiencing, right? It's usually something much deeper than that. And if we don't get to the deep thing and solve that, all the little band-aids that we put on the surface, all the little symptoms that we think we fix, will never really fix the core problem. And until we fix the core problem, the root cause thing that's really causing the problem, we're not going to get long-term actual fixes and solutions. Business, I got so many business examples of this where in corporate America and even in my own small businesses sometimes, and not so much then because I'd been in corporate America for 25 years by the time I really was focusing full-time on my small businesses, that I do root cause analysis, and I do dig down and figure out what is really going on here. And that usually involves, as much as in corporate America, people like to blame people for mistakes and for problems and quality issues and challenges, it almost always boils down to the way we're doing something, which is a system or a process, right? It's the way we're doing something would cause that quality problem. It wasn't anyone's fault. It's just something that we never really looked at or thought of until it went through the system and created a problem to the customer, right? Or created a problem from department to department as we were producing something. And so it always boiled down to the way we were doing something. It wasn't about the who was doing it, it was the way it was being done. A huge example of a graduation cake when I worked for a big industrial bakery. One of the customers got fruit flies in her daughter's graduation cake and was totally freaked out, and rightly so. And of course, when you hear something like that in your business, you're like, that's impossible, that couldn't possibly happen. But knowing that anything is possible, I actually backtracked through our process, and I found that in our process, the way we were creating cakes, it actually could happen. It was possible, right? And so what did we do? We didn't solve the problem by just giving the lady a free cake and forgetting about it. We went back through the process and found out where in the process could it possibly break down, and we changed that. We made sure that that was not a possibility anymore, because that's how you eliminate problems and make sure they don't recur in your life. That works with every type of problem, not just our business problems or manufacturing problems or customer service or delivery problems. When you get a feedback from a customer or told about a customer service problem or a defect in the products or services that you provide, you don't want to just blow that off and give people back their money and not think about it again. You want to make sure that you're backtracking and finding out, well, how could that have happened? I remember sometimes in manufacturing you have to change vendors and suppliers, and that will change the outcome of your product or service. It's really easy to see in physical businesses. It's a little harder to see in service businesses, but that's why it's even more important in a service type business like coaching or agencies or delivery, any kind of service that you provide for people that isn't physical. It's even more important to listen to customer feedback and then track back the feedback and say, okay, is this really a problem? And sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's just somebody's perception and they don't like you or your product or service. And that's okay, because we're not for everybody. But a lot of the time there is some foundation to the feedback. And so you want to look at not blaming yourself or beating yourself up or feeling bad, but saying, okay, well, how might this have happened? How could this have happened? How and why does this person have this perception or this experience with my product or service? Bottom line, we want to find out what is the root, the foundational cause of a problem or a situation, and we want to go and look for solutions to that. Again, as soon as you know what the problem is, focus on solutions, not what the problem is or blaming or trying to understand why is this a problem, why did this happen, because you're not going to know. You just want to fix it. So once you identify the root cause of the problem, then stop focusing on the problem and 100% shift to focusing on solutions. And I say the best way to solve problems is to just get out a piece of paper or get on a flip chart or a whiteboard and just start brainstorming possibilities, because in that brainstorming will be the solution that you need or want. So that's one of my favorite ones. Obviously, I could talk about root cause analysis and about how to get to the heart of a problem probably for days. I'm sure I have talked about it for days. I'm sure in corporate America, I drove the other department heads crazy and other people in the organizations I work for crazy, hammering in the importance of really drilling down to finding what the problem is, not just putting little quick fixes and band-aids on it. Because I knew that, yeah, short term we could do that, and I could probably skate away and be at a different company, but that would just leave the company that I was at in worse position. And I always want to leave everybody and everything better for having come in contact with me, not ever worse. That's it. I would love to know if you have any questions about this particular lesson, root cause analysis. We will be talking about that further, probably not in the 5-day challenge, but if you do anything with me beyond that, or if you want to know more about that, you can go to our Thrive Challenge group, or I have another group and another page called Supersize Your Business, and in there, in the group, if you join the group, it's free to join, but you got to answer the questions, right? It's a Facebook group called Supersize Your Business, Supersize Business, and if anybody wants it, ask for the link below. But you can go there, and at the front of that, in the units section, there is I want to say 27 part, but I think it's longer than that, scavenger hunt, that you can go through the scavenger hunt. Obviously, I like scavenger hunts. You can go through the scavenger hunt, and it will walk you through everything you need to grow and build your business, any type of business, because it's foundationally the same for everybody, right? Even though we like to think we're all so different, good practices and success and the foundation of how the world works is and how you can create your world to work for you is the same. There's a scavenger hunt there, and in there is a piece on root cause analysis and how to find the real problem in order to be solving the right problem. I don't know about you, but I've been in organizations and I've spent sometimes months and years solving the wrong problem, and that's even more painful than the ramifications of solving the wrong problem. All right, go out, make it an awesome day. I will be with you tomorrow with number 3 of our 20 top biggest lessons learned. And I'm going to invite you, as I have every day, to join the Live Challenge Workshop Monday, starting Monday. Woo! I'm pretty excited because it's such a fun workshop, and I know that it has the ability and it will change your life. If you join me for 5 days, you will not come out unscathed in a positive way. You will be changed because you will know that anything is possible for you and that you can face any challenge with confidence, knowing that you can help not only yourself but a lot of other people as well. All right, I'll put the link below. Have an amazing day. Don't forget to join us because we got some really cool prizes just for participating. All right, have an interesting day. If not awesome, just make it awesome. Bye.